Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Vegeta Saiyan Army. If you're watching, obviously you are. Thank you so much. If you've liked the video, if you've subscribed, thank you times a million. I mean it. It means a lot, guys. We are a very new channel, as you can tell. If you're not in the Facebook group for Vegeta Saiyan Army, if you even remotely like Vegeta, which you should, because he is the greatest character of all time, join it. Join the Vegeta SA. We have the best meme. We have the best memes. We have the most heat. We have the dankest memes, and nobody gonna beat us on that. We may not be the best players, but we got the memes. We got the beef. As far as the YouTube channel, thank you for subscribing. Thank you for liking. Today we're covering how to be black decks, or how to play around them. Black should be like the easiest color or the simplest to sequence against. However, because they don't have any like defensive counterplays that are super dangerous, or like our rivals, or like red and green has me shook when I play it. But when I play against black, you should feel very safe. But for some reason, it's the most work to play against black because you have to count so many cards in a drop, because you have to pay so much attention to the drop. I always tell you guys, when an opponent charges a card, pick it up and read it. When an opponent puts a card in the drop area, pick it up and read it. When your opponent sits down and shakes your hand and they put a leader down, pick that motherfucker up and read it. Um, so it's super important against black because the drop area isn't just like an unimportant thing that nobody cares about in black. It's actually like a big deal. Black leaders will have like 30 cards in their drop area. Like they're telling you the whole story. They don't care. Um, if you're an experienced player, this is obvious. If you're new, this is a lot of good information for you if you're getting into the game. The first card I'm going to cover is Time Bullet. Time Bullet, I think, is an amazing card because if you're a Boo player, right, you can play this easily. Um, this card is a counterplay that sends a 2-drop or below to the warp. The cost is 2 energy, or it's free if you drop 2 cards, if you have a unison in play, right? So what Boo players can do is just for one, play the Gotenks Friendship Unison, right? And they can start swinging with Boo Chain, and then who's the worst enemy of a Boo Chain? Like a Kakunza or like a Topo, but they get played for 2 energy. So the Boo player can just drop 2 cards, use Time Bullet for free, and now your shit's gone without saying goodbye, like my dad. Immediately gone out of the field. You can't get that back. And guess what? Boo, I know it's a neg 3 for Boo, but remember, Boo draws 5 at the end of the turn. He doesn't care. So watch out for the Time Bullet. Again, you have to have a Unison in play, so if you're sequencing against Majin Buu against Black, go for the Unison first. Um, if you are watching any of my videos about how to sequence against yellow, red, I'm going to do it on blue and green. Just remember that the unisons give people crazy abilities, such as Time Bullet or something. Um, Always get rid of the unisons. I know some decks just go aggro for life, like Burnhan or like Vegex. I get that, but as long as you know about this card, I'll be happy. Another thing I wanted to talk about is Powerburst. Powerburst is a negate that they have where they can grab a 1-drop from the warp or the drop and always count the cards in her drop area because they can take a life and use it for free. It's 1 energy, negate the attack, you get the 1-drop. So a lot of what black does, because it's using the drop area so much. Ever since it got revealed, I remember when black was revealed as an Overrealm deck, it reminded me of back when I was playing Yu-Gi-Oh! And I was playing Light Sworns. It was one of my favorite decks ever. And then when I see Towa, Twisted Sister, which I think should be on everyone's sideboard, it reminds me of like a baby version of Mass Hero Darklaw, because Mass Hero Darklaw grabs your cards from your drop out of your graveyard and puts them back in the library. And it's just funny because Towa, I think, should be on everyone's sideboard at like 2. When you play her, which she's a counterplay, you can draw a card and then you shuffle 1 card from your opponent's drop area into their deck. If you're playing a black deck against a black deck, You also have Majin Buu Human Extinction Attack. It grabs a card in their drop area and sends it to the warp, right? So if you're looking for targets to use, if you know they're gonna use a Buu Chain from the drop, then obviously take the Buu pieces out. If you know that they have an extra card that they can utilize from the drop area, you're gonna have to use Twisted Sister because she cannot because the Boo can only grab battle cards, so Twisted Sister grabs extra cards. Um, if you want to get one drops out of the drop area to deny them the ability of plussing off of Power Burst, then you're gonna have to use Twisted Sister because she puts him back in a deck, and this dude puts him in a warp. They can still grab cards from the warp, so remember that when you're playing against Majin Buu or any black deck that you could be facing. Usually in black, what you're gonna be playing is Majin Buu, Toa, Vegex, maybe Demigra. But anything I say about Vegex should fall with Demigra as well. They have very weak, very unprotected attackers. The strength of black is that it plays so many people for free. Um, the downside of it all is that they're kind of small and like they don't have barrier or deflect. They're kind of just weenies swinging at you. So Demigra is gonna have like a 15k or like a 20k or something, unless they like overwhelm a Fu or something. But it's always free. But it's always like they're just hitting you a lot. Um, Towa is a totally different story. Because Towa actually goes for the mirror chain, and that chain has deflect, it has the barrier. Um, when you're going up against such a chain, it's a totally different playstyle that you have to play against. Another card that you should all sideboard is Magicabora, right? So, since every deck is gonna play a different type of strategy, Majin Buu has no barrier, right? Neither does Vegex, unless you're playing that weird booster like Deadly Defender guy. I think he has barrier, but and same with Demigra doesn't have barrier. They play like a more wide or like a non-barrier type of I hit you a lot type of deck. And that can be, you can use Kakunzas, you can use anything that blows up a board, anything that gets a sweeper, anything that KOs, negs, bottom decks, whatever. Go to my last video, guys, when I talk about red, because I talk a lot about how to beat cards, decks like Vegex, and go to my channel. There's a lot of videos talking about it. So against those decks, I would use Toa, Twisted Sister, when you're sequencing your turns, when you're building your decks. Um, Magicabora, however, is a card you use against decks that go taller. Maybe because Toa's deck is not weak. Is not like they're playing real motherfuckers with deflect, with barrier, things that are really hard to counterplay, things that are really hard. You can't just blow this thing up. You can't just like um these things usually have barrier, usually have deflect. And remember, Towa can do her chain turn 3. And remember, there's like 4 ways to do the mirror chain now, I think, like with the support. So if you just play Magicabura against not just Towa, but any deck that's like a super linear, I play one bomb type of deck, um, just read Magicabura, understand how it works. Uh, uh, what's it called? Study the cards, or just the most popular cards being played. What Magic Bora does is for 2 energy, it has deflect, so it's gonna hit the board. You can name a character's name and then the cost, and then your opponent just can't play that to the next turn. So I'll just say Mira 7 drop, and this card cannot be played. Again, it's a very linear kind of deck that Towa's running, so you can obviously hit this a lot easier with a card like Magic Bora. Another thing I wanted to cover when you're sequencing against black is remembering that the greatest super combo, the most snap super combo in the world is in black. Obviously, like, if you guys want to argue that it's like Samasu, I got you. We all play differently. Some people are aggro, some people are control. Why would anyone agree about this game? Every deck is different, every color is different. But the way I play, in my opinion, just from what I've tested, Baby Super Combo is insane. For every card that's black that they have in their drop or their warp, this Super Combo is going to get 1,000 power. And decks put a lot of cards in their drop area when they're black. So like if there's 27 cards in their drop area, this dude is 30,000 power. So if my advice when you're playing against black, if you don't find the super combos in their drop area, it means they're in their hand. Or at least you should assume they are. And don't shotgun for game if you think that they're there, because you're gonna get slam dunked on. You're gonna get Randy Mossed, and you're gonna come out crying. Also, a lot of people will combo Bibbidi and they're lazy and won't do the motherfucking math. Yo, I'm a Marine and I was born in Venezuela, and this is my first language. Yo, if I can read it and I can count it, there's so many things in my life that are like against me reading, including being a Marine. But dog, if I can read it, you can read it. If I can count it, dog, people will be like, oh yeah, like 100 for a game. And I'm like, how about you count it, big guy? It's black cards. A lot of decks run like Champa Super Combo, like Vegex. That doesn't count. Go to their drop area and count it out. Don't get cheated on. Always look at what the cost of everything is. Respect the steps. Look at if they have to drop a card as a cost. Make sure they drop it. Make sure it's the right color. Make sure they're tapping the right energy. Make sure they're counting, especially in black. Don't get cheated on. You're gonna end up looking like Will Smith, and then at the end of the game, after you get cheated on, they're gonna say something like, "Oh, I didn't cheat. It was an entanglement." Yo, don't have that. Don't have that. Don't put up with it. Um, this card is another card. It's not attached to black. But I like just talking about sequencing against a card like this, right? Again, ignore my board. My board is like super sacky, but like, yo, just in general, right? This negate is something every card can use. And again, like this deck, like, you're not gonna see this. Like if somebody's wearing uh, uh, like Air Jordan ones or something, and they got like a Bugatti or something crazy, they're rich and they have four Protector of the People, then look out for this card. Um, but not a lot of people have it. What I'm trying to say is it's very expensive. When this card negates the attack, they have to drop a card from their hand and put it in the drop area. Make sure they do that. Don't give people like don't give people any room. I mean, don't be a dick about it, but you know what I'm saying. Then they choose one of their leader cards. By the way, how fucking suspect is that? What do you mean one of my leader cards? Are y'all about to like do dual leader sets coming up? Anyway, um, it gains the following effect for the turn. Every time your leader gets swung at, so anytime somebody's trying to throw hands at him, he gets a 5k pump. So if you want to sequence around that, clearly swing with the weakest people. So if you know that this dude's coming, swing. Here comes a negate, and then swing with the 15k, then with the 20k. So all your swings are relevant, and there's no dead swings in your board. Always plus as much as you can. Always, every inch matters. Like everything you can do to like gain incremental advantage. You know how many games get won by 5,000? Just combo power. That could have been a win. That could have been something. You want to use all your energy. You want to use all your combo power. You want to use all your value. If you can swing 5 times this turn, don't swing 3 times unless it's a disadvantage, unless it's a loss, unless you're giving them cards. But always grab every little piece that you can. The last thing I want to talk about is there's again not a lot of counterplays in black. Oh shit! I just hit alert response. Pause. I hit A on purpose, accidentally. Deborah, Darkness Perfected. If you're playing something that procs an ability on activate main, Deborah can hit it. If it's as it's being played, it will go off. It will trigger. So just look out for Deborah. Again, not a lot to talk about as it comes to like the counter plays and arrivals with Black. Black is not that great when it comes to all that, but it's only because it's so strong at playing free cards. If you guys think I missed anything, if you guys think there's anything I should cover, I'm not the best player in the world, clearly. Um, as you can see by my board. But to help me out, let's help everybody out, help each other out. If you guys are new, ask me questions on the comment section, on the Vegeta Saiyan Army Facebook page, which you should join. Vegeta wants you to join, or on the YouTube channel, or just I get people DMing me all the time. Just ask me there. I'll be glad to help you out. If you're a new player, if you're an experienced player, I hope you learned at least one thing here. Maybe I reminded you of one little play. Maybe you forgot. Maybe you forgot about BBD. Maybe you got coronavirus and you went to the hospital for like a week and you slept on Babidi. And hey, I just reminded you of it. If I can help at least one of you, I'll be happy. Um, Busy week. I'll be going to Coco with the squad, the Vegeta Saiyan Army squad. Yeah, you heard it right. We're gonna be a Coco. We're gonna go for that 2K's tournament. And if you're joining the Vegeta Saiyan Army group, we're all about trying to make Vegeta great again. Make Vegeta great again. Because it can't, they can't give my boy a bone. He's the greatest character of all time. You really can't make a good leader. Come on, dog. Follow us if you love Vegeta. I've tested every Vegeta. I've been playing since set one, since Blue Vegeta, and it's been real. So come on, check us out. Next, I want to do a video about how to sequence against blue and against green, two very different colors. I would say the worst color and the best color. And yeah, I'll see you guys then. Thank you so much for the support. You guys are all awesome, and I'll see y'all next time.